thoughts are. The WhatsApp number to be a part of the conversation is 0809 4440981. You can also tweet at Smooth981. We're streaming live on YouTube. Hello, YouTube. Just search for Smooth981 and you can catch the live stream. As always, I've got my analysts with me. It's Oris and James.
Yeah, good morning, Lagos. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for
Victory!
Indeed. Hi, Zibby.
I know I'm taking off the headphones though.
Well, I always get ready for the yeah. All right.
Loud.
Yeah, you weren't so loud today. Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
You
really
have
to ask,
coffee?
honestly, because
Yeah.
I didn't see you having coffee, so maybe I can.
All right. We're going to make sure you have coffee
Not
after
that
the show.
but I'm alright.
All right. So let's get straight into it. By the way, Jade Osiberu won something, didn't she?
Yes, you did.
And I know you'd be very excited.
Yeah. Well,
Her number one fan.
yeah. I think the film won 5 awards at the MFA this year. But I think most of it were won by the director, by the way. It's funny, right? I think he won 3 or 2 of it. He was the cinematographer, I think he was also the art director, and he was also the, of course, director.
Wow.
And I
This
think
is
he
why it's
won
good to
one
be
of
a
them.
jack of all trades.
Yeah. So I think what she won as a producer was I think best West African film or something. Yeah, which is of course also a big award, and of course Toby won best actor.
Yes, he
Shockingly,
did.
but he did.
All right. So what did you think of Osase's win? It seemed some people were not too
Please.
thrilled.
Yeah, no, but it wasn't just Osas. I mean, let's not make it look like Osas problem. I think it was across the board for the acting categories, but mostly the Osas won and the Toby one, because I guess most people felt, to be honest, I also feel the same way. Let me not like, that they
Even
were
on
better
South feels the same way.
that there were better performances, what's it called now, in both categories, especially for Toby. Toby had 2 people in his category that, if it wasn't a viewer's choice award,
Like
top
Chidi
bag.
Mokeme.
Chidi and Blossom. So Blossom was in the film called The Trade, which, by the way, is directed by
Jade.
Jade herself, by
wow.
the way, and Chidi was, of course, in Shantytown. Both performances are way, to be honest, way better than Toby's. But somehow, because, like I said, viewer's choice, so who has the most buzz probably would get a bigger chance. That's the
And when
only
you've been
reason
on
why.
Big Brother, I mean,
Exactly.
definitely
How many
helps.
years ago, so, and I think it's one of the big. Toby has to be one of the biggest stars from Big Brother in the past 5-6 years.
One of yes.
Yes, he has to be, So exactly. So that just means that the man has heavy buzz. Just imagine if. Did you see Shantytown?
I saw a bit of it. Yes.
There was a particular Mercy Eke had like a cameo in the film.
Yes.
So just imagine if Mercy was up for an acting award.
Oh,
and
she would
because she's-
win. Yeah.
Imagine how Nigeria would collapse if that had happened, no? So there's something a little bit faulty about having a viewers' choice award as the biggest film awards in the country.
Right.
It's really tricky, because I think the MVC are kind of like the equivalent of the MTV awards in the US.
Oh.
But nobody thinks of the MTV awards as superior to the Oscars. You
No one
understand?
does. That's
Exactly,
true.
because they know that it's just fan service.
Right.
So when you have acting categories in the biggest awards in the country, decided by fans, it just means that people who know what to look for are probably fewer than who can like really ginger up his fans to like vote and vote and vote.
Wow, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
All right, so Seun Kuti has broken his silence after his release from detention. Now, he thanked his fans on social media, and he also thanked his wife.
Of course, expected.
No, exactly. I mean,
Well, I
what
think
he's going to do?
even though he's been released on bail right now, but the fact is the case is not over.
Yes, he's still going to go to court.
He's still going to go. I mean, I think he went to court yesterday or so.
Oh.
A day after he was released, I think. And yeah, the case was still postponed again to another time. So it's fingers crossed to see how this ends. I mean, he has about maybe 8 to 10 charges, So it's fingers
And who
crossed.
knows, a few more could crop up.
Yeah, so
It's just, I mean, it's just one of those things in football. This is like an own goal.
Right.
You literally there was no really danger, Just get your temper in check and everything will be fine.
that's all.
But instead, violence, video, the combination, man. And
It's
yes,
a
yeah, exactly. And that's where we
I'm
are.
curious about this though. A lot of celebrities went on his social media, and it's funny because he calls celebrities yeah breeties most of the time. So a lot of them went there and they're posting messages of support. And I'm thinking, he wasn't fighting for freedom. He actually did assault someone, and he assaulted a police officer, which in the eyes of the law is a serious crime.
Serious,
Are
very
we
serious.
now applauding people who are committing crimes, or is that the kind of support that you give in private, not in public?
That's well, hmm, hmm, fair enough. But, and this is a very big but. I think the expression of support of I don't know, condolence or whatever it is they're giving him is not the same.
Condolence.
It's not exactly the same thing as condoning violence. I don't think they are quite the same thing. There's a relationship somewhere, but it's not quite the same thing. I think what's happening is just he's a member, he's one of us, and he's going through trying times. He's a celebrity. We are celebrities as well. If we are going to say sorry that happened to you, we can say it in private. But the fact of the matter is that we also want people to know that hey, he's our guy. So this kind of like an expression of like what's that thing called in esprit de corps. It's kind of like one of us, So let's for he's a jolly good fellow. Even if the person is like the most categorical person, everybody sing that song at his birthday, right? I think that's exactly what's happening. So I don't think anybody feels like what he did. Well, I hope so. I don't think most of those people who are saying whatever they are seeing on his Instagram, for instance, I don't think they think what he did was right. But they believe that they have to show support at this particular time because of course there's a lot of controversy and criticism against his actions.
Can we also add that sometimes when something is actually buzzing or trending, some people just want to jump on the wave, So whether you just want to commemorate or say congratulations or whatever, if something is actually buzzing, I see that a lot of people want to just at least let their name be registered on that list. That's why I see it as
well. No, but under his own posts.
Yeah, but the same way it came under his post, people also posted, on their pages like congratulations, or even while it was locked up, and even after, some people actually posted it to show their support as well, But I still feel like let's call a spade and agree that what he did was way out of line. He just sort of ruins everything that he stood for, that he has been standing for. No matter how you look at it, he's been a supporter of the common man, so to speak. But you're not going to commend the common man to slap the law, in the name of. I don't know. No matter how angry you might have been, but like Oris said, they need to check. He needs to deal with his anger and self-control because it's way out of line to actually. Now, I get it. Some of the posts I've seen, even from the likes of Files and Co. and and some other people, where the police was doing the same, or harassing and beating and that kind of thing. But man, no matter how you look, two wrongs just can't.
Exactly. Especially not of this type of wrongs. It's just not possible.
You cannot encourage it, and we have to keep saying that it's just because it's Seun Kuti, Fela's son. If it was Oris or James Silas that tried,
we'll be taking food to visit you right now.
No, even
in the hospital.
The story will not be on social media. I think it was also, so at least it got a lot of attention because it was on social media, right? It wouldn't even come on social media. You just be somewhere forgotten. And
wow.
Yeah.
Now, last year there was an incident similar to Ice Prince. Ice Prince had gotten into.
Did anybody even know how that ended?
Yeah,
I know he was in prison for some time, a few weeks, I believe. But that case, it hasn't exactly been closed that I know of. But it's probably one of those cases that will be there for a while.
Lawyers will be going to court.
Right.
They just everybody forgets.
Do you think Ice Prince got this much support?
Well, I don't think he got as much buzz as Seun Kuti.
That is true. Yes.
He didn't get as much buzz. We heard the story was just in the news. I think it was sometime around September
around
last
September
year.
Yes.
Yeah, because I remember I saw when that thing happened and stuff. I tried to reach out. I tried to reach out
to him.
Yeah, just to say, I heard this in the news. Is this true? But then later I now saw one of his a common friend who confirmed it, and actually told me before he now went public that he has been released that morning or something. So it didn't get as much buzz, and a lot of times, we weigh these things based on the strength of your relevance at that point in time.
Exactly.
So if you are not as buzzing as much as you used to, or as the other person, you may not get as much attention and stuff. But in I mean, we can't really compare. I don't think he.
Yeah, it's not the same.
slapped-
It's not.
No, he
yeah,
didn't.
It's
He
exactly not
attempted to
to
drive off
with the
and
officer.
threatened to allegedly threatened to throw the officer in the lagoon. So
Exactly.
one threatened and one actually carried
Well,
out
exactly.
the act.
But to be fair, both of them are crimes actually. I don't
Yeah,
think.
of
I don't
course.
think. Yeah, I think threats actually crimes as well.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, I think James is right. It's entirely a question of relevance at that particular point in time. If this had happened like maybe 2013, 2014, in the Aboki
Mm.
that time at the
Fire of the Zamani
exactly
era.
there'll be more noise about what had happened to Ice Prince. But again, I think Nigeria's a very funny place. I think there's a certain level of cover that fame gives these people, because I think the treatment in both cases actually hasn't been consistent with the treatment of like the average guy who exactly falls into those exact same positions. How many times have I seen videos of like maybe a bus driver maybe tangled with a last man guy? You just never hear what happens afterwards.
True.
You just never hear. You know exactly. You understand?
True.
You know, you just never hear. Or you have a kind of traffic violation too. You know, the stress these people put you through. I wonder, one of my friends, she parked a vehicle somewhere outside the market, and we didn't see the car. That's what
Missing vehicle.
we didn't see the vehicle. Had to like drive to another man. It was a crazy day. Anyway, so things like that happen. But I think when you are famous or when you are rich in Nigeria, there are things you can kind of get away with. So yeah, so these people have been punished, at least in the public eye, but it's still not quite at the level somebody who has less than their money, less than their fame would have gotten.
And this is just to reiterate, it is illegal in every way, shape, or form to assault a police officer
Exactly.
in the course
You
of
just
their
you
duties.
won't get away with it.
All right, let's see what WhatsApp is saying. Tayo says the success story continues for Jade Osiberu's gangs of Lagos. Please, who has 10 billion naira for a libel suit being asked by the descendants of Isaleko?
No, but that's not the same thing. No. Gang of Lagos was not eligible for AMBC. That's
No. I think he's just doing a flashback. OG says Chidi was amazing in Shantytown. The switch from old Nollywood lover boy to gangster was stellar. Unfortunately, most of the voters are younger and would vote based on current popularity, even when not based on the film. Congratulations to Toby. I loved him as well in Brotherhood. All right, interesting times. Tayo says, have the police made this investigation a spectacle? It's alleged that the victim of the slap was in a coma. Asked the court for an order to conduct psychiatric tests on him. What I want from Sheon is a song narrating his experience. As for Ice Prince, only Officer Hyundai can answer that. I think Sheon needs to apologize.
I thought so as well.
It's
but
not. It looks well. I don't
Unlikely?
know. I think it looks unlikely, but if depending on the kind of conversations that they have, because eventually this might be settled out of, I don't know how they settle police government case out of court.
Maybe give him some community service,
Yeah,
or
but
force him to go for anger management
It might
classes
be one of
or
those,
something.
yes, it might be one of those things where the
Maybe
police
pay a fine.
I think almost definitely pay a fine. But I think one of those things where the police would say, maybe publicly make this, maybe we could drop some of the charges or something. Maybe that's where they'll finally end up. Maybe. But let's see. But we also know that Shehu is a very stubborn
We saw
personality.
from
So
the
it
video.
looks like, yeah, if they ask him to do that, whether he might be willing to, I don't know. We'll find out.
no, I think he will. Or,
After all of this.
because I mean, they're not just going to say do this and then fold it out. There's going to be like an alternative to you not doing it.
Okay,
I mean,
fair.
because the case is still live
That
right
is
now.
true.
So they're telling you to make like a public apology, which is what I think this case requires. Because, like I said, there's so much responsibility on Shehu to have carried out this type of acts, and people are looking at the situation to see how it plays out. If not, tomorrow you'll be
That
amazed.
is true. People would say, "Oh well, Ice Prince did it. Sheon did it.
Exactly.
I
we
can do it."
Exactly.
Well,
Even
good luck
lawyers
to
are
that
going to
person.
hold on to it and say, okay, and tell you
There's
why.
precedence. Exactly.
Yeah, do you understand? So
Yeah.
I think that he needs to.
We should get a little bit of a legal opinion on this. What could possibly be the
Yeah, so
outcome?
any lawyer listening, advise us.
Yeah, I'm sure we have a lawyer in the
Tell us.
building. All right, well, you're listening to The Grapevine on Smooth 98.1. It continues shortly. Stay with us. Let me...
Mr. C might even be.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Let me
get
ask
him.
him really quickly.
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. C.
Yeah.
If you can come on live to even talk about it quickly.
I should not come on live, please.
Ah, ah.
Please.
Seafood okra we discussed. First,
Oh,
I
man.
blended my okra.
But
Because
really,
I
are you
feel
sure
like-
you're fine?
No, I'm fine. Really, I just did sleep.
With my 4-burner gas
Why
cooker,
not
I
sleep?
put
Why
not
some
sleep?
okra.
I wake up, I sleep like I slept like around 1 o'clock, woke up at 5, you know, sometimes whenever I mean, and maybe the coffee would have helped too, but I'm just not sure. Not that deep because I'm
Gadgets and more. Now
But I'm
on
good.
www.altmall.ng. All small. Shop more.
AK
Think
Street,
easy.
how far are you there? Lineal.
Cavities. And how does Colgate
Oh,
protect
legendary
my
artist.
teeth from cavities? Does this
Lineal.
use
Remember Lineal?
Colgate?
No, dear.
Lineal,
Most
yeah.
tooth pains are caused by
L-I-N-O.
stones called cavities. When you brush
L-I-N-E-O.
daily with Colgate Maximum
Yeah.
Cavity Protection, its expert formula locks natural calcium in our teeth and helps protect them from cavities.
It's time to upgrade.
Alex, you now be watching live, you not come to, you know they call work again, Abi. What's happening?
That is not
You are now a hybrid, in fact, more of
Pure and dental association.
work at home guy, Abi. Is it there?
Yes.
Is it
So
coming?
no, I didn't want him to come up so they can't quote
I don't know
him.
what James is looking for.
Yes.
I don't
So
know, just say-
he says maximum sentence will be a jail term, and then possibly a fine and community service, which is. You're listening to The Grapevine on Smooth 98.1 832. We love it when you're part of the conversation. We're talking about everything relating to entertainment. 0809 444 981. That's the WhatsApp number. You can catch the live stream on YouTube or just tweet at Smooth 981. So we've spoken to a legal practitioner, and a maximum penalty he would get would be a possible jail sentence. Not
Any
very
idea of how
likely.
long? 10 years.
Nah. Oh.
10 years might be a lot.
The man is in coma, man. The police said the guy's in coma, so who knows?
James.
I don't know. Oris. That's what they said, right?
Yeah, but I mean, it's possible. I mean, people have had incidents and then had a delayed response to an injury. So that could happen. Just saying. Okay, let's talk about Davido. Now, a lot of people talk about how sometimes celebrities use their fans to antagonize people that they don't like. Well, we have one of Nigeria's biggest celebrities, Davido, actually admitting that this is something he's done. So apparently a lady claimed she had no knowledge of him during an interview, and he says that he sent his fans after her.
Was it an interview? I remember that incident from last year, actually. I can't remember if it was
Was it
an
last
interview.
year?
Was it on
last year? I
live?
think
Was it
a
the
few years ago.
Bia, the rapper?
No, it wasn't Bia.
Okay,
It was,
okay, Bia was Burna Boy. Bia didn't know Burna
Yeah,
Boy.
it was somebody. I can't remember who it was anymore. But anyway, yeah, as to the fact of the case, I think Davido was just
Not serious.
he was overplaying what actually happened.
Yeah.
I remember the incident, and I even saw somebody recapping it online as well. It was a case of I think he slid into somebody's DM. I don't know if I'm right. Maybe I don't know. Slid into somebody's DM, and then now all these cloud chasers. So she showed up and put it up publicly that Davido was slid into her DM for I don't know whatever reasons, and then he responded saying that why would you do this? This is kind of lame. You get, and then he made that public and just and then of course his fans saw it, and then bam, they went after her because she was saying that she doesn't know him, that she did what she wanted to do because she doesn't know the guy. So the fans were like, how would you say you don't know David?
Some of these fans need to get a job in life.
Well, yeah, so I think so. When he was getting interviewed now, I think it was by Big Boy, the American journal kind of guy. I think he was now claiming that he called his fan base. I was like, what? How are you calling your fan base anyway?
But
How is that
posting
possible?
that or reposting whatever, is that not a subtle way of saying go after that person?
I don't think it's the same thing.
Is
I think
it?
one of them is in the ambit of deniability. You can say, I didn't actually intend to do that. But he was claiming that he called. I was like, in fact, for me, it was like, really, how do you even call your fan base? What does that even
But
do?
you
They call
know,
100 people. How
A
does
lot
that
there are
work?
fans in fan communities, like with the Michael
Yeah,
Jackson
and they
fan
have like a
community.
leader who you can
Yes,
call
it's a
and
very
reach
active
out to
community.
everybody.
So there are people that if you want some stuff going out, those are the people that you get in touch
I think the
with.
media is just pushing this thing. I think he was just being over.
But what does it say about
him
a person who
okay.
says, I'm going to get people to attack someone online, and then
No, but he
people are
didn't
going to
do it.
come?
That's what I'm saying. But he didn't do it. That's
No,
what
but
I'm
he
saying.
said he did it.
That's what I'm saying. That I
No,
think
but
he
we're
was
going to go
just
with what he said.
No, but I want to say I was there. I saw it happen.
Oris, I'm suspecting
I saw it happen. I saw it happen at the time. I remember what happened at the time. So I'm just saying that actually, I don't know if he puts that and then he made a phone call. I don't know about that, but I know what happened online, and I know that yes, he put up the stuff saying that how would she say she doesn't know me, and then people were like, how would you say?
But that's the thing. Sometimes you don't need to tell people go and attack. Just give people that little thing. Okay, I'm gonna repost it.
Let me tell you.
Zibby trying to be sensational about it. The same way Davido was trying to claim what is
Exactly. So was Zibby
Okay.
sometimes, even with the way David said it, David has said by himself that he used to be a troll, that if he wasn't going to be an artist, that he would have been a troll, probably been a troll, that, he used to, if stuff happened to celebrities back in the day, that he used to be part of the people that would be like, oh no, why did you do this? And, like he could have been a troll. So, him in this situation, I wasn't even surprised. But what could have happened in this? I mean, this time around, maybe he's trying to say, okay, she said she didn't know me, and I just told my friend like, hey, go on this girl and stuff. But I don't think he meant it in any way to harm the situation. But you know how stories can be these days. When something comes out, everybody might just look at it like, oh, it's funny. Then one person does like, no, this is not funny. This is wrong. This is trolling. This is harassment.
This is bullying. They
just
bullying,
make it and then blow it out. And then the media stories can only be sweet when there's a bit of scandal
there's some
and
pepper,
pain in
some
it,
pepper, some curry.
So, but I don't think it was anything serious. But even outside,
but wait, we're saying it's not serious because we're not on the receiving end of it. We don't know what that lady went through. Let's be honest.
You are still there. You are still at that point. Can we just shift away
No, but we
from?
can't shift away
No,
from.
but hold on. Zibby, chill.
Everybody
Can
loves
we
to
just
play
shift
the
away
victim
from that aspect of trolling that lady to the part where a celebrity might just think that you are supposed to be known everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Remember there was this video of Jay-Z in the train. Was it in the train on the subway? Oh yeah, it was in the train. When a lady was like an elderly woman was looking at him, and like, are you famous? And he said, I don't know if you saw that video. And
I saw it.
Yeah, pretty much famous. And then there was this back and forth. They were talking, having a chat, and until later. And he said, so he said it was in, I don't know if it was Manhattan or one of those places that he came here for a concert, because the woman saw him with people following him, right? And I was just wondering, okay, but this one they were also in the train and they were sitting really not so far away from each other, So, but sometimes I think celebrities just even overplay, or you just think that you're supposed to be known worldwide,
right?
You're supposed to just know you, but there's possibility that you might not be known in some areas, or some people might just not even care, or just they don't know you.
I don't think that was the case with this one. I think they
maybe not. I know. But I'm just saying that
really
generally,
funny.
that even as a celebrity, it is possible that some people.
But I get what you're saying, Sha. I get what you're saying, Zibby. Though this idea of celebrities maybe should be a little bit more aware of the power that they have, and when you make some stuff like that public, you are kind of saying something to your people in a way. So I respect that. I just feel like sometimes people are just too sensitive these days, man. Everything, there's somebody trying to pay victim.
That is true. But if you have 20, 30, 40, 500, 5,000 people sending you hate tweets and hate messages, it gets to be a lot.
How about this
we
guy?
Can't be saying we rise by lifting others. Be kind.
The guy from 2 days ago, the most hated Nigerian in the world right now.
Oh yes, that young man.
They have to come and apologize because man, I'm sure it was just too much, because the guy was trending, I think, for like 2 days. Just had his name there, just like
yesterday.
Exactly.
Because so they're dragging different. It's not even. You know how they just fraction the
exactly the thing, right?
I saw a post in the news actually. What's her name? Abike Dabiri,
yeah.
Who also has issues with somebody else or some media people.
Yeah.
So it's just broken. The guy has caused a lot of chaos. As far as
but people have also caused chaos on him now. The guy is supposed to be just somebody who was interviewed by the BBC, and suddenly it's like I'm sure people are insulting him per second.
I wonder if he
Even
has
af-
deactivated his pages
Even after
yet.
his apology, people are still going after him.
Wow.
Man. Yes,
But,
I
I
get
mean,
it. It can be a little
he
too much.
made some wrong choices, but I'm sure the
But
entire
was-
decision wasn't based off of what he just said.
Wasn't he truthful though? You know, I don't know. Are we not in Nigeria? Every 2 square meters, they say there's a church, right? And then somebody's honest in public, and then people want to kill him. Why do we have these churches?
It's like
I'm not supposed to say the truth and you set us free. Now you say the truth and then you're a troll.
you're in a hot seat.
Exactly.
All right, let's see what WhatsApp is saying. Adewuni says, one of the consequences I wish for Sheon Kuti is community service. Let him go and drain the gutters in Mushin and Oshodi, in addition with a few years in jail.
Oops. Oh, okay.
Oh.
This person doesn't really like Sheon.
Or maybe this person just respects the law of the
A
country.
few years in jail.
No, maybe community
I mean,
service is fine.
community
And
service.
Sheon, I don't think Sheon will not have a
Fine.
problem. If you look at it, Sheon did not. The typical Sheon, if let's say Sheon was not, did not cross that line.
Yes.
You will hear his voice even from jail,
Exactly.
even from
From
everywhere.
jail.
Even when they look, you hear Sheon's voice. But of course,
He would have done an
believe that
Instagram live immediately. He showed up.
There's this pinch of remorsefulness in him.
No, certainly.
He seems a bit calm.
I don't think he might not admit it, but there certainly has to be.
Wow.
What Sheon doing in the custody, man? It's not something you'd have ever seen coming to him in
No,
2023. Like,
Sheon.
I'll be in custody.
And I think this is just a lesson.
It
We
is.
have to learn to control ourselves. Yes, situations could be frustrating, but sometimes just having a few seconds to think of the possible outcomes.
Exactly. Of this thing you're doing.
Oh,
Exactly.
yeah.
This immediate release might lead to extended custody.
Hmm.
I know the
It
police
has.
coming for you is one thing. The main person or the is it the victim can also come back and want to sue
Yes,
separately.
that's true.
You know, so
Wow.
Wala.
In the words
That's
of
the great
Potable,
Portable.
the great Potable is not happy. Apparently, he's trying to get collaboration with someone called Spyro.
You know him now. Who's your guy? That hit song. Not only me. Nah.
Oh yes, I do. Okay.
So that's the guy trying to.
So his name come from Spyro Gyro or something.
no. So let's be clear. He wasn't trying. Portable wasn't trying to get a collaboration with him.
Mm.
The guy granted an interview, and then he was asked about collaborations and stuff, and then he used Portable as an example
Of
saying
who he'd
that-
like to collaborate with?
No.
Oh, okay.
Saying that, for example, he wouldn't want to collaborate with someone like Portable because their music does not align, their styles don't align. That even if he writes a record for him, that he doesn't.
Who
think
wants
that-
to align with
So he just sort of
really?
put it in that way, and then he even in that same conversation, he was saying that that he respects Portable.
Yeah, I said Portable is good actually.
That he's good over here, but for him, he cannot collaborate with Portable. And then I think Portable is
As
Portable.
usual with
Once there's
Portable.
something on social media that might
Yes.
just, you know, this
And
is his
Possible
name.
probably doesn't have the best comprehension skills, does he?
Even if it did,
Even if it does.
once it's social media, even once
Portable
it's
is
social
a
media, he just
cloud-
that
it's a
this
cloud-
is social media.
Clout animal. That's what that guy is.
He pulls out all his arsenals. This is cloud for me, and that's exactly what happened.
Oh wow. All right, so let's talk about Tina Turner. 83 years old. Just yesterday the news broke that Tina Turner had passed away. Legendary rocker, actress, singer, songwriter, an all-round inspiration.
Yeah, may she rest in peace. Of course, for me, our greatest song, which I think is also one of at least the first 2 verses, one of the best written songs ever. What's Love Got to Do with It?
Oh, that's a
I always,
brilliant
I
one.
always felt like the third verse just kind of capitulated here. But anyway, really decent song, and yeah, may she rest in peace. As she sang about something else, she's simply the best.
Oh, indeed.
This guy is feeling like a rapper, you know.
Oris is a rapper on certain Thursdays.
Chill.
I ain't going to.
Bombay has so. I mean, she's done well for herself. This is.
Wait, you remember she sold her entire catalog a few years ago? And
Did
I remember,
she?
yes,
That-
she did. Yes, I think last or 2
We
years
talked
ago.
about it here.
Yeah, exactly. And she said, and part of the thing was like the money was a little bit low. But considering that
Wow.
just a few years, 2-3 years afterwards, she's passed, I feel like great deal, I have to say.
Great
Really
deal.
smart, to get that last thing and then
But you know what?
really good.
Her music sales are going to spike right now. as she
Yeah, so the
passed.
people who bought it, of course, are
Yeah,
going
they
to
will be the
make-
beneficiaries,
Exactly.
not her estate right now.
Yeah, that's true. But I say,
Wow.
as a person, I feel like, what's a great deal to get that chunk of money just
Yeah.
before you pass. Super.
Wow. All right, Tayo says, rest in peace to the queen of rock and roll, Tina Turner, anime Bullock. She truly lived the life of an overcomer. Yes, indeed, she did. Benjamin, okay, let's see what Angel says. Angel says, why wouldn't Sheon be remorseful when he's on the verge of missing out on the world tour and the attached benefits?
That is true. Yes,
the liabilities that will accrue from the loss will be unprecedented, even generations after might be unable to appease. And when Sheon is touring, he tours like a rock star. He has
is
like
a rock star.
I know.
In Europe, all of them
he has
in
everything.
Europe. You have no idea in Europe. Those guys. Yeah.
I don't think I've seen our Nigerian artists tour the way Sheon does when they're outside the country.
They don't. I mean,
he's like A-list.
He's not even doing social media paparazzi or whatever. They're making noise. These guys, go and check. They're always out there with the whole band. You don't want to imagine how much.
Let me tell you how interesting stuff is. Years ago, there was one event at in VI.
Okay, we know the event.
anyway, there was one big event in VI, and Shion and Femi, both of them were there, and I was there with a friend of mine from Germany. And when they were performing, they were the closing act, I think. Shion, one of them was the closing act. And then after, of course, people were gingered and everything. But the guy told me that, you know what, that's funny. He doesn't think that the way they are gingered here is even half as much if he was performing this exact same thing in Berlin. I'm like, you know what? So according to him, you know, these guys are bigger in Europe, and I was like, actually, it's kind of right, actually.
You know what they say about the prophets?
Yeah. Well, a slapping prophet.
Oris.
His name is Oris. I'll give you that address.
Please say it was Oris that said it.
Oris.
We have met, by the way, me and so we had a long argument about some political thing. Yeah, this is 4 years ago.
Wow. All right. Xavier says, by legendary Tina Turner, a woman who rocked 6-inch heels even in her 80s, a diva and more. May the angels receive her soul. No matter what anybody says, I love Shion and the entire Kuti family. A lot of our alternate artists are not appreciated here at home, and it's a shame. Oris will soon come for you. Please don't tweet Oris's handle, Xavier.
Oris.
Wow.
Oris Grant, that's ad Grant. So you see his face as well.
Oh my goodness.
And you clearly identify him. He's wearing a hat.
Thank God my address is not online. Praise the Lord.
I can DM me, I'll send you.
Austin, last message. I've been really sad since I heard about Tina's death. I love the whole songs. She is simply the best. And that's Austin from Satellite. Well, thank you for your messages. Thank you for listening. Thanks for being on the live stream. And of course, special thanks to Oris and James. You can catch the James and Oris show on YouTube.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's all the time that we have. Stay with us. Lagos Talk starts from 9 a.m.
James, you wanted to come and catch me in my house, I come against
I know
you.
Cheryl personally.
Oh, you do?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. But, I mean...
No, of course. What is true is true. I think even here now, we think like, you know, I can just feel that just slap this guy. You know,
Like, because
maybe not.